The emergency session of the Galactic Council began at dawn. Representatives from 23 different species appeared as holograms in the Great Chamber. Ambassador Kira stood in the center, looking tired and stressed. "Honored council members," she began, "I must report that humans are far more dangerous than we thought. They are not a peaceful species seeking guidance. They are insane creatures who actively seek death." Council leader Voss, a tall being with silver skin, leaned forward. "Explain this claim, Ambassador." "They keep deadly predators as entertainment," Kira said. "They throw themselves off cliffs for fun. They eat poison and call it delicious. Every aspect of their society involves unnecessary risk." Murmurs of concern rippled through the council chamber. "Are you certain of this?" asked Representative Zelln from the aquatic sector. "Perhaps you misunderstood their customs." "I have video evidence," Kira replied, activating her recordings. The council watched in horror as humans climbed impossible cliffs, rode giant waves, and jumped from mountains. They saw people eating food that made them cry from pain and fish that could kill them. "This is madness," whispered Representative Thok from the Crystal Worlds. "How did such creatures develop space travel?" "I believe they are suffering from planet-wide mental illness," Kira continued. "I recommend immediate intervention. We should relocate them to a safer world and provide medical treatment." "Agreed," said Council Leader Voss. "We cannot allow such disturbed beings to harm themselves further." At that moment, Dr. Mina's voice came through the communication system. "Honorable Council, may we speak? We believe there has been a misunderstanding." "Very well," Voss said. "But be brief. Your species clearly needs help." The hologram shimmered and 4 humans appeared in the chamber. Dr. Mina stood with Captain Junho, philosopher Chewan, and historian Dongyun. "Thank you for this opportunity," Dr. Mina said politely. "We understand why our behavior seems strange, but we are not insane. We are survivors." "Survivors?" Kira laughed bitterly. "You risk your lives for entertainment, because risk is normal. For us," said Chewan calmly. She was an older woman with wise eyes who had studied human nature for decades. "On our world, everything is dangerous. We adapted to find joy in challenges." Historian Donghyun stepped forward. He was a gentleman who knew Earth's long story better than anyone. "Let me tell you about our planet," he said. "Earth has tried to kill humans for millions of years." The council members listened as Donghyun painted a picture of Earth's violent history. Ice ages that froze entire continents. Volcanoes that darkened the sky for years. Earthquakes that split the ground open. Storms with winds that could destroy cities. "That sounds horrible," Representative Zelln said. "It was," Donghyun agreed. "But we survived it all. Not by hiding, but by adapting. By becoming tougher." Dr. Yuna, a geneticist, joined the hologram. She was a small woman with sharp eyes, who understood how humans were built. "Our bodies are designed for a dangerous world," she explained. "We can run long distances without stopping. We can throw objects with deadly accuracy. We can survive injuries that would kill most species. We are persistence hunters," added anthropologist Jin Woo, a tall man who studied ancient human behavior. "Our ancestors hunted animals much larger and stronger than us. We chased them until they collapsed from exhaustion." The council members looked uncomfortable. This was not the story they expected to hear. "You're saying humans are predators?" Council Leader Voss asked. "Among other things," Captain Junho said. "We're also prey, scavengers, toolmakers, and problem solvers. Earth made us into generalists who can handle anything." Chewan continued the explanation. "Every human alive today is descended from survivors. People who lived through disasters that destroyed entire civilizations. We carry the genes of those who never gave up." "But why do you seek out danger for fun?" Kira asked, still confused. "Doctor," Mina smiled sadly. "Because danger is our natural state. When life becomes too safe, we feel restless. We need challenges to feel normal." "Your ancestors evolved in safety," Jinwoo explained to the council. "You developed on peaceful worlds where Danger was rare, but humans evolved with constant threats. Our warning signs aren't for us, Dr. Yuna added. They're for visitors from other worlds. Things that would kill you are just Tuesday for us. Representative Thok spoke up nervously. Are you saying humans are immune to danger? Not immune, Chewan corrected, but very resistant, and when we do get hurt, we heal fast and learn from the experience. Dongyun activated a holographic display showing Earth's geological history. Look at our planet's timeline, he said. Asteroid impacts, supervolcano eruptions, mass extinctions. Each event killed most life on Earth, but some humans always survived. The Council saw the terrible history of Earth, a world that seemed determined to destroy all life. Yet somehow, humans had not only survived, but thrived. Every species that lives on peaceful worlds would die quickly on Earth, Dr. Mina said gently. Our gravity is strong, our weather is violent, our diseases are deadly, our animals are aggressive. Earth is what you would call a death world, Captain Junho added, but it's our home. We're adapted to it. Ambassador Kira felt her understanding of humanity shifting completely. So when you climb cliffs and surf giant waves, we're practicing skills our ancestors needed to survive, Chewen finished. Taking calculated risks to stay sharp. And the spicy food? Knox asked weakly. Plants evolved capsaicin to stop animals from eating them, Dr. Yuna explained. But humans learned to enjoy the burn. We turned plant defenses into flavoring. What about the poisonous fish? Representative Zelen asked. Jinwu chuckled. Humans have always eaten dangerous things when we were hungry. We learned to prepare toxic foods safely. Now it's a skill we're proud of. The council chamber fell silent as the implication sank in. You're saying, Council Leader Voss said slowly, that humans are not reckless. They are the product of the most dangerous world in known space. Exactly, Dr. Mina said. Our warning signs aren't because we're afraid. They're because we know other species would be hurt by things we consider normal. Your people put safety labels on everything not to protect yourselves, but to protect us, Kira realized. Every warning sign tells a story, Dongyun said. Someone got hurt, so we marked the danger for the next person. We learned from every mistake. Representative Thok asked the question everyone was thinking. If humans are so adapted to danger, what does that make you in galactic terms? Captain Junho and Dr. Mina looked at each other. Survivors, Captain Junho said simply. We're the species that refuses to quit, but also protectors, Dr. Mina added. We put up warning signs because we don't want anyone else to get hurt, even by things that don't hurt us. The council members talked quietly among themselves for several minutes. Finally, Council Leader Voss spoke. Ambassador Kira, your report will be updated. Humans are not mentally ill. They are not reckless. They are the survivors of a death world. What does this mean for their application to join the Galactic Council? Representative Zeln asked. Council Leader Voss looked at the human representatives with new respect. It means we should be honored to have them. Any species that can turn a death world into a home and still care enough to warn others about small dangers has wisdom we need. Ambassador Kira nodded slowly. I understand now. Humans don't label things extremely dangerous as a warning to themselves. They label them as a courtesy to anyone else who might be hurt. We share the galaxy with apex survivors, Representative Thok said with awe. Beings who find deadly challenges entertaining because normal life is already so difficult. Dr. Mina bowed to the council. We look forward to working with all of you, and don't worry, we'll make sure to put up plenty of warning signs. As the council session ended, Ambassador Kira realized something profound. Humans weren't the galaxy's most dangerous species because they were reckless. They were the galaxy's most dangerous species because they had survived everything their world could throw at them, and somehow remained kind enough to warn others about the dangers they faced every day. Earth wasn't just another planet. It was a training ground that had forged the ultimate survivors. And now those survivors wanted to share the galaxy peacefully, while keeping everyone else safe from the dangers they had learned to call normal. The warning labels weren't a sign of human weakness. They were a sign of human strength and compassion combined. The galaxy would never be the same. Ambassador Kira felt exhausted after 3 days of watching humans risk their lives for fun. She hoped today would be different. "Today we visit a restaurant," Dr. Mina announced. "You can see how humans prepare and eat food. Very peaceful and safe." Kira sighed with relief. Finally. Food preparation must be calm and gentle. Even humans cannot make cooking dangerous. Knox nodded eagerly. "Yes, this will show us normal human behavior, not the crazy risk-taking we have seen." They walked through Seoul's busy restaurant district. The smells were amazing. Spices and herbs the aliens had never experienced. Steam rose from small food carts on every corner. "This is wonderful," Kira said, relaxing for the first time in days. So civilized. They stopped at a popular restaurant called Fire Mountain. The name should have warned them, but the aliens didn't understand yet. Chef Minji met them at the door. She was a small woman with quick hands and bright eyes. She had cooked for 20 years and loved sharing Korean food with new people. "Welcome," she said warmly. "I'm Chef Minji. I'll show you our kitchen and cooking methods." "How lovely," Kira said. "We're excited to see peaceful human food preparation." Chef Minji smiled. "Oh, cooking isn't always peaceful, but it's always exciting." She led them into the kitchen. It was a scene from the aliens' worst nightmares. Humans moved quickly everywhere, carrying sharp metal blades. Gas flames shot from multiple stoves, reaching toward the ceiling. Boiling oil bubbled dangerously in large pans. Steam hissed from pressure cookers. Danger, hot surfaces, and caution, sharp objects, signs covered every wall. "This is a war zone," Knox whispered in horror. Junho, the sous chef, was cutting vegetables with a knife longer than his forearm. The blade moved so fast it was just a blur. One wrong move would cut off his fingers. "Doesn't he fear the blade?" Kira asked. "Why would I fear my tools?" Junho laughed. "I've used knives since I was 15. They're like extensions of my hands." Suddenly, Chef Minji grabbed a pan and poured alcohol into it. The liquid caught fire instantly, sending flames shooting 3 feet into the air. "Fire!" Kira screamed. "The kitchen is burning." No, Chef Minji said calmly, stirring the flaming pan. "This is flambe. The fire cooks the alcohol and adds flavor." The aliens watched in terror as she casually cooked with literal fire in her hands. The flames danced around the food like tiny dragons. "You're playing with fire," Knox said weakly. "That's the best part." Chef Minji grinned. At the next station, Cook Sungjae was deep-frying chicken. The oil was so hot it could melt metal. Bubbles exploded on the surface like tiny volcanoes. "The oil is 350 degrees, he explained proudly. "Hot enough to cook chicken in minutes. Hot enough to kill a person instantly," Kira muttered. "Well, yes," Sungjae admitted. "But that's what makes it work." A food critic named Boyoung entered the kitchen. She was famous for reviewing the city's spiciest restaurants. "Chef Minji," she called out. "I want to try your hottest dish. Make it as spicy as possible." "Are you sure?" Chef Minji asked. "Last time you cried for an hour." "That's how I know it's good," Boyoung said happily. The aliens looked confused. "She wants food that makes her cry?" Kira asked. "Humans love spicy food," Dr. Mina explained. "The hotter, the better." Chef Minji began preparing the dish. She put on thick gloves and opened a container marked, "Extreme danger, wear protection." Inside were small red peppers that seemed to glow with heat. "These are ghost peppers," Chef Minji said. 1 million units on the spice scale." "What does that mean?" Knox asked. "It means they're basically weapons," she replied cheerfully. She chopped the peppers carefully. Even with gloves and good ventilation, the smell made everyone's eyes water. "This is poison," Kira gasped, backing away from the cutting board. "Technically, yes," Chef Minji agreed. "Capsaicin is a toxin. Plants make it to stop animals from eating them." "Then why are you putting it in food?" Knox asked desperately. "Because it hurts so good," Boyoung said, waiting eagerly for her meal. The aliens' translators struggled with this concept. Pain that Felt good? Toxins eaten on purpose? Their technology couldn't make sense of it. Chef Minji finished the dish and served it to Boyong. The food critic took a large bite and immediately turned red. Sweat poured down her face. Her eyes filled with tears. "Delicious," she gasped between sobs. "Perfect heat level. She's dying," Kira shouted. "Call medical help." "I'm fine," Boyong wheezed. "This is exactly what I wanted." The aliens watched in horror as the human woman continued eating food that was clearly torturing her, and she seemed to enjoy every painful bite. "Your species is completely insane," Knox said finally. But the worst was yet to come. A well-dressed customer named Gi-hun entered the restaurant with a special request. "Chef Minji, do you have any fugu today?" he asked politely. Chef Minji's face became serious. "Yes, but are you certain? You know the risks." "Of course," Gi-hun said. "That's what makes it special." The aliens didn't understand the conversation, but Dr. Mina's face had gone pale. "What is fugu?" Kira asked. "Pufferfish," Mina said quietly. "It's dangerous to eat." Chef Sunwoo, the restaurant's fugu specialist, emerged from the back kitchen. He wore special clothes and carried very precise knives. His face was completely focused. "Fugu must be prepared perfectly," he explained to the aliens. "One wrong cut and the customer dies." "Dies?" Kira's voice cracked. "From food?" "The fish contains tetrodotoxin," Chef Sunwoo said. "One of the deadliest poisons on Earth, more toxic than cyanide." "Then why would anyone eat it?" Knox asked. "Because it's delicious," Gi-hun said, "and the danger makes it exciting." The aliens watched in complete bewilderment as Chef Sunwoo began preparing the potentially deadly fish. Every cut had to be exact. One mistake would create a meal that would kill the customer within hours. "How often do people die from this?" Kira asked weakly. "About 10 people per year in Japan," Chef Sunwoo said calmly. "But that's mostly from amateurs trying to prepare it at home." "Amateurs try to prepare deadly poisoned fish at home?" Knox repeated. "Some people like the risk," Dr. Mina said. Chef Sunwoo worked for 30 minutes, carefully removing every trace of poison from the fish. His movements were precise like a surgeon's. One slip would create a death sentence on a plate. Finally, he presented the finished dish to Gi-hun. It looked beautiful and innocent, thin slices of white fish arranged like flower petals. "Perfect," Gi-hun said, admiring the presentation. "You are an artist, Chef Sunwoo." He took the first bite. The aliens held their breath, waiting for him to collapse and die. Instead, Gi-hun smiled. "Excellent. The texture is perfect." He continued eating the potentially lethal meal with obvious pleasure, chatting casually about the weather. "This is impossible," Kira said. "Humans eat poison for fun. They cook with fire and toxic chemicals. They hurt themselves with spices and call it delicious." "Don't forget the knives and boiling oil," Knox added weakly. Chef Minji overheard them. "Cooking isn't about playing it safe," she said. "It's about pushing boundaries, finding new flavors, creating something amazing, even if it's dangerous." "But why risk death for food?" Kira asked. "Because the best things in life always have some risk," Chef Minji replied. "Safe food is boring food." As they left the restaurant, Kira felt completely defeated. She had hoped to find at least one normal human activity. Instead, she discovered that humans had made even eating into a dangerous sport. "They put poison in their food," she said numbly. "Literal poison. And they enjoy pain," Knox added. "They call suffering delicious." "Tomorrow is our last day," Dr. Mina said. "Would you like to see anything else?" Kira just shook her head. She couldn't imagine what could be worse than watching humans voluntarily poison themselves for entertainment. That night, she sent her most urgent report yet to the Galactic Council. "Human behavior is beyond comprehension. They have weaponized their own food. They consume toxins that would kill any civilized species. Recommend immediate quarantine of entire planet." These beings are too dangerous to be allowed into galactic society. She thought she had seen the worst of humanity. Tomorrow, she would learn that everything she had witnessed was just the beginning of understanding what humans really were. The next day, Dr. Mina took the aliens to Busan, a coastal city in South Korea. The morning air was fresh and salty from the ocean. Today we'll see how humans spend their free time, Mina said cheerfully. Our recreational activities. Ambassador, Kira felt relieved. After yesterday's encounter with dangerous animals, she looked forward to seeing peaceful human hobbies. On her homeworld, recreation meant quiet meditation and gentle art. Wonderful, she said. Finally, we will see the calm side of humanity. They walked along the beach toward some tall rocky cliffs. Kira noticed people looking up at the rocks and pointing. Some held strange devices that made clicking sounds. What are they watching? Knox asked. Mina pointed upward. Rock climbing. Very popular here. High above them, a small figure moved slowly up the cliff face. The person clung to tiny cracks in the rock hundreds of feet above the hard ground below. Is he trapped up there? Kira asked with concern. Should we call for help? No, he's climbing for fun, Mina explained. They moved closer. The climber was a young man named Hyunwoo. His fingers gripped holds no bigger than coins. His feet balanced on ledges thinner than pencils. One slip would mean certain death. This is impossible, Knox whispered. Humans cannot climb vertical rock. But Hyunwoo continued upward. His muscles strained with each movement. Sweat dripped from his face. Sometimes he hung by just his fingertips, resting before the next difficult move. Why is he doing this? Kira asked. A woman with climbing gear approached them. This was Yoonji, a climbing instructor. She had taught rock climbing for 15 years. He's free soloing, Yoonji said proudly. Climbing without ropes. Without ropes? Kira's voice cracked. What if he falls? Then he dies, Yoonji said simply. That's what makes it exciting. The aliens stared at her. On their world, the idea of voluntarily risking death for excitement was completely insane. But why would anyone choose to risk death? Knox asked. For the challenge, Yoonji explained. When you might die, every move matters. It makes you feel truly alive. Hyunwoo reached the top of the cliff. People below cheered and clapped. He raised his arms in victory, then began rappelling down safely. That was amazing, someone shouted. Do it again, called another voice. Kira couldn't understand. These humans were encouraging someone to risk his life repeatedly for no reason. They moved to the beach next. The ocean was rough today, with huge waves crashing against the shore. Most people stayed far from the water, but not all people. A figure in a black suit ran toward the massive waves carrying a longboard. This was Kyung-min, a professional surfer. He had been riding waves since he was 12 years old. Where is he going? Kira asked, alarmed. Surfing, Mina said. He'll ride the waves. But those waves are enormous. Knox pointed at the 20-foot walls of water. They'll crush him. That's the point, said a nearby surfer named Jae-ho. Bigger waves, bigger fun. They watched in horror as Kyung-min paddled straight into the churning ocean. A massive wave rose behind him like a moving mountain of water. It could easily kill a person. Instead of running away, Kyung-min turned and rode the wave's face. He balanced perfectly as tons of water crashed around him. He carved turns through the wave like he was dancing with death itself. This is madness, Kira said. Your species is suicidal. Nah, Jae-ho laughed. We just like a good challenge. The wave finally broke, throwing Kyung-min into the churning white water. The aliens were sure he was dead. But seconds later, his head popped up, smiling. Did you see that ride? Kyung-min shouted to the beach. Perfect barrel. He immediately began paddling back out for another wave. Kira began sending urgent messages to her ship. Emergency report. Humans appear to have collective death wish. Recommend immediate psychological evaluation of entire species. Their next stop was even worse. At the top of a nearby cliff, they found a group of people in colorful jumpsuits. These were base jumpers, and today was perfect jumping weather. Sung-ho, the group leader, was preparing for his jump. He checked his parachute 3 times, then looked over the edge. The ground was 1,000 feet below. "This is base jumping," Mina explained to the aliens. "They jump off cliffs and use parachutes to land safely." "Safely?" Kira shrieked. "How is throwing yourself off a cliff safe?" "Well," Sung-ho admitted, "sometimes the parachute doesn't open properly, but that's pretty rare." "How rare?" Knox asked. "About 1 in 1,000 jumps," Sung-ho said casually. Good odds. The aliens couldn't believe it. These humans were willing to accept a 1 in 1,000 chance of death for a few seconds of falling. "Why would you do this?" Kira asked desperately. Sung-ho thought for a moment. "Have you ever felt truly free? Like nothing in the universe could hold you down?" "No," Kira said honestly. "That's what this feels like," Sung-ho explained. "For just a few seconds, you're flying. Nothing else matters." Before the aliens could respond, Sung-ho ran toward the edge and leaped. He fell like a stone for several terrifying seconds before his parachute opened. He floated down gracefully, landing softly on the beach below. "Next," called another jumper. One by one, humans threw themselves off the cliff. Each one fell toward certain death, trusting a thin piece of fabric to save them. And each one landed safely, laughing with joy. "My translator must be broken," Knox said weakly. "It says they're doing this for fun." "Your translator is working. Fine," Mina said. Their final stop was a motocross track outside the city. The aliens hoped this would be calmer than cliff jumping. They were wrong. Jihoon, a professional motocross racer, was preparing for practice. His motorcycle was a powerful machine designed for jumping and racing over rough terrain. "This is motocross," Mina explained. "Motorcycle racing with jumps and obstacles." The track looked like a nightmare. There were huge dirt jumps, sharp turns, and dangerous obstacles everywhere. Signs warned, "Extreme danger, professional riders only." "At least they acknowledge the danger," Kira said hopefully. Jihoon started his engine. The sound was deafening. He raced toward the first jump at incredible speed. "He's going too fast," Knox shouted. "He'll crash." But Jihoon hit the jump perfectly. His motorcycle launched into the air, flying nearly 50 feet. For a moment, man and machine soared through space together. He landed hard but stayed in control, immediately racing toward the next jump. "How is he not dead?" Kira asked. "Skill and practice," said Minsu, another racer. "Takes years to learn to fly like that." "Flying?" Knox repeated. "Humans don't have wings." "We make our own wings," Minsu said, pointing to his motorcycle. They watched, for an hour, as riders launched themselves through the air again and again. Sometimes they crashed, rolling in the dirt before getting up and trying again. "Don't they get hurt?" Kira asked after seeing a particularly bad crash. "Sometimes," Jihoon said, showing them scars on his arms. "Broken bones, cuts, bruises. Part of the sport." "You continue even after being injured?" Knox asked. "Of course," Jihoon smiled. "The danger is what makes it exciting." As the day ended, Kira's mind reeled with what she had seen. Humans who climbed deadly cliffs for fun. People who rode waves that could kill them. Others who jumped off mountains with only fabric to save them. And riders who launched motorcycles through the air like they were trying to fly. "I don't understand. Your species," she told Mina as they walked back to their transport. "What don't you understand?" Mina asked. "You seek out danger. You call deadly activities fun. You risk your lives for no reason except excitement." Mina thought about this. "What do you do for excitement on your world?" "We meditate. We create gentle art. We have peaceful conversations." "That sounds nice," Mina said. "But doesn't it get boring?" Boring. Kira had never heard this word applied to safety before. Yes. When everything is safe and predictable, where's the challenge? Where's the growth? That night, Kira sent another report to the Galactic Council. Humans are not just willing to face danger, They actively seek it out. They appear to be addicted to activities that could kill them. Recommend immediate intervention before they destroy themselves. She had no idea that tomorrow would show her something even more disturbing about human nature, something that would make base jumping look like a gentle hobby. The next morning, Dr. Mina led Ambassador Kira and Nox through the busy streets of Seoul. The aliens wore special suits that let them breathe Earth's air. Their purple skin looked strange under the yellow sun. "Where are we going?" Kira asked, stepping carefully around a fire hydrant marked with red warning tape. "Seoul National Zoo," Mina said. "It's one of our most peaceful places. You can see Earth's animals safely." "Animals?" Nox said, checking his translator. "You mean the creatures that live on your planet?" "Yes, we keep many different species there," Mina explained. "It helps people learn about nature." They walked through the zoo's main gate. A large sign read, "Danger, do not feed animals. Do not put hands in cages. Stay on marked paths." Kira sighed. More warnings. "Do your animals attack people?" "Some might," Mina said, "if they feel threatened or scared." Dr. Taiho met them at the entrance. He was a kind man with gray hair and gentle eyes. He had worked with animals for 30 years and loved his job. "Welcome to our zoo," he said, bowing to the aliens. "I'm Dr. Taiho, head zoologist. I'll show you around." They walked down a tree-lined path. The first exhibit was a large grassy area with tall fences. Inside, several huge brown animals moved slowly, eating grass. "These are elephants," Dr. Taiho said proudly. The aliens stared. The elephants were massive, bigger than their spaceship. One elephant weighed as much as 50 humans. "They're enormous," Kira whispered. "Are they dangerous?" "They can be," Dr. Taiho said. "An elephant can knock down trees, but they're usually gentle." A small human child ran up to the fence laughing and pointing at the elephants. Her mother followed close behind. "Look, Mommy, the big one is coming over." The largest elephant walked to the fence. It reached its trunk toward the little girl. She giggled and tried to touch it through the bars. Nox grabbed Kira's arm. "The creature is attacking. Why doesn't someone help the child?" "It's not attacking," Dr. Taiho said calmly. "The elephant likes children, it's being friendly." "But it could crush her," Kira said. "Yes, it could," Dr. Taiho agreed. "That's why we have the fence." They moved to the next exhibit. Jiwon, a young marine biologist, waited for them there. She wore khaki clothes and had dirt on her hands from feeding the animals. "This is our predator section," she said cheerfully. Behind thick glass walls, several large cats paced back and forth. They had orange fur with black stripes and huge white teeth. "Tigers," Jiwon explained. "The biggest cats on Earth." One tiger looked directly at Kira. Its yellow eyes seemed to see right through her. It opened its mouth and roared. The sound was so loud it shook the ground. Kira fell backward. "It wants to eat us." "Probably," Jiwon said with a smile. "Tigers are hunters, they eat meat." "You keep monsters here?" Nox asked. "Why don't you destroy them?" "Destroy them?" Dr. Taiho looked shocked. "These animals are precious. There are only a few thousand tigers left in the wild." "But they kill people," Kira said. "Sometimes," Jiwon admitted. "But mostly they avoid humans. We're working to save them from extinction." The aliens couldn't understand. These humans were protecting creatures that wanted to kill them. On the Vithani homeworld, anything dangerous was removed long ago. They continued walking. The next area had massive brown bears. One bear stood on its back legs, reaching 9 feet tall. Its claws were longer than human fingers. "Bears," Dr. Taiho said. "Very strong. A bear can break a car with its hands." Children pressed against the viewing barrier, excited to see the big animals. Parents lifted babies to get better views. Everyone seemed happy and relaxed. "Your people enjoy looking at death machines," Nox observed. "We find them beautiful," Jiwon said. "Nature is amazing, even when it's dangerous." They visited the reptile house next. Inside glass cases, poisonous snakes coiled on warm rocks. A sign warned, "Venomous, deadly bite." This snake's bite can kill a human in minutes, Dr. Taiho explained, pointing to a colorful serpent. Yet you keep it alive? Kira asked. Of course, it's part of Earth's ecosystem. Do-hyun, a maintenance worker, was cleaning the bear exhibit. He was a quiet man who loved working with animals. He wore thick gloves and carried special tools. Biao. Careful, Do-hyun, Ji-won called out. The big male seems restless today. I'll watch out, Do-hyun replied. But as he worked, one of his tools caught on the gate latch. The metal piece came loose. Do-hyun didn't notice as he moved to the next cage. Suddenly, a loud alarm started ringing. Red lights flashed everywhere. Attention, announced a voice over the speakers. Code Red. Large predator escape. All visitors move to safe areas immediately. The aliens looked around in panic. What's happening? Kira screamed. Through the trees, they saw it. A massive Siberian tiger had escaped from its enclosure. The orange and black cat moved silently through the zoo paths, looking for a way out. Humans everywhere began moving quickly but calmly. Parents picked up children. Security guards appeared with radios. No one was screaming or running wildly. This way, please, said a calm voice. Zoo worker Wu Jin guided visitors toward a concrete building. Stay together. Walk, don't run. The aliens couldn't believe it. Humans were walking toward safety while a killer moved freely among them. Why weren't they terrified? Shouldn't we run? Knox asked. Running makes you look like prey, Wu Jin explained. Tigers chase things that run. Dr. Taeho spoke into his radio. Tiger is near the elephant exhibit. No visitors in immediate area. Nari, the head zookeeper, appeared with a long rifle. She was a small woman, but she moved with confidence. Her eyes tracked the tiger's location. There, she said quietly. Behind the snack stand. The tiger was beautiful but deadly. It weighed 400 pounds of pure muscle. Its claws could cut through bone. Its bite could crush a human skull. Nari raised her weapon. It wasn't designed to kill, but to put the animal to sleep safely. Nari, be careful, Dr. Taeho said. Always am, she replied. The tiger saw her. For a moment, predator and human stared at each other. The tiger's muscles tensed. It was deciding whether to attack or flee. Nari didn't move. She held perfectly still, waiting for the right moment. The tiger took a step forward. Nari fired. The dart hit the tiger in the shoulder. The animal roared in surprise, then looked confused. Within seconds, it stumbled and lay down peacefully. Target secured, Nari said into her radio. Bring the transport cart. The entire crisis lasted less than 10 minutes. Soon, workers were moving the sleeping tiger back to its repaired enclosure. Visitors began returning to normal activities. Is everyone safe? Dr. Taeho asked. All clear, Wu Jin reported. No injuries. Standard Tuesday. Standard Tuesday? Kira repeated. This happens regularly? Not often, Ji-won said. Maybe once a year. We're prepared for it. The aliens stared at the humans. These people had just faced a creature that could kill any of them easily, but they treated it like a minor inconvenience. Your people are very strange, Knox said finally. How so? Dr. Taeho asked. You live with monsters. You protect creatures that want to eat you, and when they escape, you calmly put them back in their cages. They're not monsters, Ji-won said. They're just animals trying to survive like us. But they're dangerous, Kira insisted. So are we, Dr. Taeho said quietly. Humans are dangerous too. We just choose not to act like it most of the time. As they left the zoo, Kira's mind raced. These humans confused her completely. They lived alongside creatures that could kill them. They seemed to enjoy the danger. And when faced with real threats, they didn't panic. They just handled it. On the Vithani homeworld, the smallest danger was eliminated immediately, but humans seemed to collect dangers like other species collected art. What kind of people choose to live with predators? She asked Knox quietly. I don't know, he replied, but I'm starting to think we don't understand humans at all. Tomorrow, Dr. Mina promised to show them human recreational activities. Kira hoped they would be safer than this peaceful zoo visit. She had no idea that the zoo was actually the safest place they would visit on Earth. The small silver ship moved slowly toward the International Space Station. Inside the ship, Ambassador Kira looked out the window at Earth below. Her purple skin glowed softly in the ship's light. Her 4 arms moved carefully over the control panel. "So this is Earth," she said to her assistant. "The 3rd planet, home to the humans." The assistant, Knox, nodded his large head. "Yes, Ambassador. Our information says they are a young species. Only a few thousand years of recorded history. Very primitive compared to us." Kira smiled. "Perfect. This should be an easy first contact. We will teach them about the galaxy. They will be grateful and join our peaceful alliance." The space station grew larger as they got closer. Kira noticed something strange. There were bright yellow and red signs everywhere on the station's outside. The signs had symbols she did not understand. "What are those markings?" she asked. Knox checked his data pad. "Our translators say they are warning signs: danger, high voltage; caution, radiation hazard; warning, explosive materials." Kira laughed. "How funny. They put warnings on everything. These humans must be very scared creatures." Inside the space station, Captain Junho floated near the docking bay. He wore a crisp blue uniform with the Korean flag on his shoulder. His black hair was cut short and neat. He had been an astronaut for 10 years, but today felt different. Today humanity would meet aliens for the first time. "Control, this is Junho," he spoke into his radio. "The alien ship is almost here." "Copy that, Junho," came the voice of Commander Heejin from the control room. "Remember the protocol. Be friendly but careful. We don't know what they want." Dr. Mina floated beside Junho. She was a small woman with bright eyes and quick hands. As Earth's best expert on possible alien life, she had waited her whole career for this moment. "Are you nervous?" Junho asked her. "A little," Mina said, "but mostly excited. Think of what we can learn from them." The alien ship connected to the docking port with a soft thud. Air hissed as the airlocks matched pressure. Green lights showed it was safe to open the doors. Junho and Mina waited as the heavy metal door slid open. Steam poured out, and then they saw them. 2 tall, thin beings with purple skin and 4 arms each. They wore flowing silver robes that seemed to glow. Ambassador Kira stepped forward first. She was taller than any human, maybe 7 feet. Her face was long and narrow, with large black eyes. When she spoke, a small device on her chest translated her words into Korean. "Greetings, humans of Earth," she said. Her voice was musical, like wind chimes. "I am Ambassador Kira of the Vathani people. We come in peace from the Galactic Council." Junho bowed slightly, as was polite in Korean culture. "Welcome to our space station, Ambassador. I am Captain Junho, and this is Dr. Mina. We represent Earth and all humanity." Kira looked around the docking bay. Her large eyes moved from sign to sign. Danger. Pressurized area. Warning. Moving parts. Caution. Hot surface. "You have many warnings here," she said. "Are humans often hurt by these things?" Mina and Junho looked at each other. "Well, sometimes," Mina said. "But the signs help keep people safe." "How interesting," Kira said. "On our world, we have no such signs. Dangerous things simply do not exist." Knox, the assistant, nodded. "We have perfect safety in all our cities. No one is ever hurt." Commander Heejin's voice came through the speakers. "Captain Junho, please bring our guests to Conference Room A." They floated through the station's narrow halls. Kira noticed more signs everywhere. Emergency exit. Fire extinguisher. First aid kit. "You seem very worried about emergencies," she said. "We like to be prepared," Junho said. "Better safe than sorry." "But why would you need to be sorry?" Kira asked. "Do bad things happen?" "Often." Mina thought about how to explain. "Sometimes. Space is dangerous. Equipment can break. People can get hurt. We try to prevent problems before they happen." They reached the conference room. Commander Heejin waited for them. She was an older woman with gray hair and sharp eyes. She had commanded 3 space missions and ran the station like a tight ship. "Welcome aboard," Heejin said. "Please, sit down. Or float if you prefer." The aliens chose to float. Their silver robes moved like water around them. Kira looked at the conference table, which was covered with more warning labels. Caution, sharp edges. Warning, electrical equipment. "Even your furniture has warnings," she said with amusement. "Some people might cut themselves on the table corners," Heejin explained. "And the computer ports carry electrical current." Knox whispered to Kira, "These humans seem very fragile. They fear everything." Heejin activated a large screen on the eye wall. It showed Earth spinning slowly below them. "This is our home," she said. 4.5 billion years old. 7 billion humans live here." Kira studied the image. "It looks violent," she said. "We see storms and lightning. Are those not dangerous?" "Very dangerous," Mina said. "Lightning can kill a person instantly, and storms destroy buildings sometimes." "Yet you live with these things?" Kira asked. "We don't have a choice," Junho said. "It's our planet. We learn to deal with the dangers." Knox made notes on his datapad. "Fascinating. Humans live on a world that actively tries to harm them." The meeting continued for an hour. The humans explained Earth's governments, cultures, and history. The aliens talked about the Galactic Council and its 23 peaceful member species. "We have eliminated all dangers from our worlds," Kira said proudly. "No predators, no storms, no diseases. Perfect peace for 1,000 years." "That sounds wonderful," Mina said. "But how do you handle unexpected problems?" "What problems?" Knox asked. "When there is no danger, there are no problems." Heejin and Junho exchanged looks. They were starting to understand something important. These aliens had never faced real danger. They lived in a perfect, safe bubble. "We would like to learn more about human culture," Kira said. "Perhaps you could show us your world." "Of course," Mina said. "I can arrange a tour. We could visit some of our cities, meet more humans." "Excellent," Kira said. "We are eager to see how such a fearful species lives." After the aliens left for their ship, the 3 humans floated in the empty conference room. "Did you notice something odd?" Heejin asked. "They think we're cowards," Junho said. "They see our warning signs and think we're afraid of everything." Mina nodded slowly. "But I think it's the opposite. They've never needed warning signs because they've never faced real danger. They don't understand that our signs aren't about fear. They're about experience." "What do you mean?" Heejin asked. "Every warning sign tells a story," Mina explained. "Someone got hurt, so we put up a sign to help the next person. We've learned from our mistakes." Junho thought about this. "So our signs don't show that we're afraid. They show that we've survived." "Exactly," Mina said. "These aliens have never had to survive anything. They don't know what survival looks like." Heejin smiled grimly. "Well, they're about to learn. Tomorrow we show them Earth." Outside the space station, Ambassador Kira looked down at the blue and green planet. She felt sorry for the humans. Such a beautiful world, but so full of dangers. How did such weak, fearful creatures ever develop space travel? She decided the Galactic Council would need to help them. Perhaps they could relocate all humans to a safer world, somewhere without storms or sharp table corners. "Poor things," she said to Knox. "Living in constant fear. No wonder they need so many warnings." Tomorrow she would see Earth up close. She would meet more humans and learn about their frightened way of life. Then she would write a report for the Council about how to help these pitiful creatures overcome their fears. She had no idea that she was about to discover something that would shake the entire galaxy's understanding of intelligence, survival, and what it truly meant to be dangerous.